somebody, blah, blah, blah. Well, we gave you.
And if it costs me, yes, oh, under 2 and under,
So
they have to have, so they're gonna have their own seat on the plane, so
Give a big
like.
plate for.
It's painful, so I'm probably gonna sit on that. It's that lap road with me, but it actually, there was a piece of me that was like, wow, this is because she's like crawling on the field, my mom was there, so she's like crawling back and forth between the 3 of us, and I'm like, oh my god.
And you're always nervous you're gonna be the one like baby, like he's gonna cry the whole time.
Yeah.
One of them.
Don't draw.
So you're getting the steward still like, so
It's be a 3-hour flight.
Yeah.
Through, yeah. There's, if you fly out of Des Moines, there's a layover, but I've never done it because I refuse. To do a layover, not with my kids. So I drive to Minneapolis and then it's straight through. Yeah. Which typically what they do is Des Moines flies you to Minneapolis and then you have a layover there. Like I'll just drive to Minneapolis. That's not hard. My kids can sleep.
What's 2 extra hours of driving?
Right, they can sleep in the car and then fly. No,
How long of a flight is that?
Well, it's shortest.
I'm not a good flyer.
If you fly the short route from LA to Brisbane, it's 14 hours.
14?
Yeah,
14.
Otherwise, the long one's 18 hours.
That's a no from me.
I'm not a good flyer.
Why?
Whole bottle can be built.
They got alcohol.
I have really bad, I am very
Yeah.
claustrophobic. And so if I think about the fact that like I'm in a little tiny
It's not-
van kind of. Yeah, but like,
But when you think
now
about
when you
it,
think about the amount of people on it. It's not even that. It's just
crack the
like,
window.
I'll call the January 3 City Council meeting to order. Roll call.
Abby Hansen,
here,
John Hawkins,
Yeah.
Megan McFarland. Here. Matt McKinney,
Here.
Logan Welch.
Here.
Call for motion to approve the agenda.
so moved.
second,
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the States of America. And indivisible, liberty and Item 1, petitions, communications and requests. This is the time of the meeting that a citizen may address the council on a matter not on the agenda. Except in cases of emergency, the city council may take any action at this meeting if may ask city staff to research the matter, have the matter placed on the agenda for a future meeting. Happy New Year. In case I haven't got you already. I think that's about all I got. So item 2. Appointments of officers and annual resolutions. So we'll have A is appointment by City Council of the City Clerk to the term ending December 31st of 2024 for Carol Bonjour, 2-year term. B is an appointment by the City Council of Deputy City Clerk to the term ending December 31st, 2024, 2-year term for Elizabeth Smith. Appointment by City Council to City Attorney to the term ending December 31st of 2024, the 2-year term for Zachary Chisak. His contract will run from 1/1/23 to 12/31/25. D is an appointment of a representative and alternate representative to the North Iowa Municipal Electrical Cooperative Association for the year of 2023. is Adam Dickinson, representative, Daniel Ortiz Hernandez, alternate. Appointment of Right to Know coordinator for the year of 2023 is Brian Stroner. F is appointment to the Hamilton County Resource Enhanced Committee for the year of 2023 is John Hawkins. G is appointment of the representative and alternate representative to the Midas Transport Advisory Committee for the year ending 2023 is Brandon Barnifus, representative, and B.D. Bishop, alternate. Appointment of a representative to serve on the board of Webster City Daycare for the year of 2023 is Megan McFarlane. I is an appointment of a representative to serve on the board of Riverview Early Childhood Centre for the year of 2023 is Logan Welch.
Move to approve collectively.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Item J is appointment of the official newspaper. Appointment of official newspapers Daily Freeman Journal.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Item K is a resolution on appointments for representative and alternate representative to the Hamilton County Communications Service Advisory Board, E911, for the year of 2023. Charlotte Mork, representative, and Charles Stansfield, alternate.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
I is a resolution on appointment of representative and alternate representative to the Hamilton County Enhanced Management Commission for the year of 2023. John Hawkins, representative, and Charles Stansfield is alternate.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
M is a resolution on the appointment of Hamilton County Solid Waste Commission for the year of 2023. B.D. Bishop, representative, and Daniel Ortiz Hernandez, alternate.
Move to approve.
Second.
N, all those in favour say aye.
Aye.
N is resolution authorising city finance director to invest city funds.
Move to.
Approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Got stepped on twice then.
O is a resolution authorising city clerk to issue warrants in payments for certain types of expenditures.
Second.
Favour say aye. P is a resolution authorising city clerk to issue and deliver warrants for the payroll upon receiving approval by city manager.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Q is a resolution of purpose for providing for expenditures of economic development funds.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
R is a resolution setting dates and time for regular meetings for the city council for 2023. I assume we're happy with 6 o'clock.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
S is a resolution establishing depositories for the city of Webster City and financial institutions, the maximum amount which may be kept on deposit in each depository and designating authorised officers.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
And we're done with that lot for another year or two. Item 3, minutes, claims, reports and licenses. The following items have been deemed uncontroversial routine actions to be approved by the council on a single motion. If a council member or a member of the audience wishes to have an item removed from this list, we're considered on its normal sequence on the agenda. We have A, minutes of December 19. B is a resolution on payroll for period ending December 17, 2022 and paid on December 23, 2022. C is a resolution on bills and approve the fund list. D is the financial reports for 2022, July, August, September, October and November.
Move to approve collectively.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Item 4, general agenda. A second reading of an ordinance amending the Code of Ordinances of the City of Webster City 2019 by amending Chapter 48, Article 5, Section 48-346 pertaining to commercial wind energy conversion systems.
So this is the second reading, amending the Code of Ordinances
to include the 2 mile extra territorial jurisdiction in correspondence to the commercial wind energy conversion system. And the recommendation is to approve the second reading and pass and adopt the ordinance.
Waive the third.
Wait,
It's the
third
third reading.
Move to approve.
Second.
all those in favour say aye.
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 Opposed, same sign.
Move to waive the third reading.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Move to pass and adopt ordinance.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. B is a resolution providing for notice of hearing to commence a public improvement project to construct the wastewater treatment facility project and to acquire property for the project for February 6th, 2023 at 6:05 p.m.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. This item is the next step in the wastewater treatment plant project. There is still some land we have to acquire. Some of it is related to the sewer force main and the other is the alternate outfall that we're looking at. Because we do need to acquire additional land, we do have to hold a hearing of public necessity. We request that you schedule that for February 6th, 2023. That will provide us with a 30-day notice we're required to do to the property owners. If approved tonight, I'll send the letter out tomorrow. I have already spoken with both property owners that are impacted here, so they are aware that that notice is coming.
Okay,
Move to approve.
Second.
all those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. C, resolution setting a date for a meeting at which is proposed to approve a development agreement with the People's Credit Union, including annual appropriation tax increment payment for January 16 at 6:05 p.m.
This is a subsequent action related to the urban renewal plan that you guys set the most public hearing for at your last meeting related to People Credit Union's request for tax increment financing for their expansion of their credit union.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
D is a discussion, city council direction to staff on real estate loan agreement with Webster City Daycare.
Start. This is a little bit of a complicated matter because the city's involvement with Webster City Daycare dates back to 2004, when at the time the city established and provided the funding to create Webster City Daycare. That came about when Hy-Vee built their new store off of 2nd Street and their original location on Beach Street became available. I'm not entirely sure on the specifics on how the city came to acquire it, but it was then developed and financed as a childcare center. In 2013, the purchase agreement was to be able to purchase the property on contract. And so that meant that the city retained the deed for the Webster City Daycare property itself. So technically speaking, it's still a government-owned parcel. And that becomes important as we discuss the project that the daycare is wanting to move forward with. The agreement was redone in 2013, and that provided for a city council representative to serve on the Webster City Daycare Board in a similar manner as the Riverview Daycare, which was also updated at that time. You guys updated the contract in 2019 after hearing from the board representative. I think it was Bob Schultz at the time. And you guys at that time, similar to Riverview, moved forward to waive and eliminate the interest that was remaining on the loans. In all of the amendments, it still retained the provision that the city would hold the deed until the property and the payments were paid in full, at which time, once it's paid in full, the deed will be relinquished and given to Webster City Daycare. The daycare board has conceptualized a project to remodel the interior of one of the large rooms in the center to build additional space, classroom space for capacity purposes. That remodel, the scope was included in the packet. It entails essentially creating 2 new classrooms. The cost is approximately a little over $130,000. Because the city still holds the deed under state law, it's considered a public improvement project and subject to the public procurement codes by the state sets out and the thresholds within. For a project of this size, it would have to exceed $190,000 if I'm correct. That would require plan specifications and to solicit bids. Anything above roughly about 90,000, it requires just quotes to be selected. And so it's just a process and formality that the city would be responsible for, whether we relinquish that to Webster City Daycare or whether we do that ourselves, but it's going to be a required process. Foreseeing that the daycare is going to need and is going to pursue additional projects in the future, or at least for the life of what's remaining on the loan, I would recommend that we would seek to modify the loan agreement or to reissue a loan in such a way that we can grant the deed to the Webster City Daycare. That would eliminate here for this project or any other project moving forward that they have remodeling needs for that meet those thresholds. That the city is not the deed holder and it's not a public project at that point that would trigger the public bidding statutes in effect. Now, the other issue that comes before you is the request by both the daycare and the county board of supervisors to provide matching funds to the project. The county, if you read in the paper last week, had met and discussed and approved up to some roughly estimated $28,000 to go towards the project, contingent upon challenging and receiving a matching funds from the city council to do so. But the first issue would be the implications of the state procurement codes that apply with the deed being the city being the deed holder. And whether you would like to modify the contract terms and loan terms so that the deed can be relinquished.
So at that loan amount, we would be subject to public bidding at this point, or
Public quotations.
you think it's over 190 before it wouldn't necessitate a public?
Yeah, and those
Bidding,
thresholds are set by the state. We confirmed those last week.
This remodel will open 100, or I will open 72 additional spots at the center.
How many people are on the waiting list?
Yeah, I don't know. I think more than that. The waiting list is kind of hard because some of those people found places and stuff. I think there's maybe not more. I think there's probably 50 people. I think that was what was presented to me last time. And I think it opened 72 spots, but I think that depends on how is it more babies, more school age, vice, all those things.
So how does the daycare intend to pay the rest of the, I guess, improvement cost? If 28 came from the county, 28 came from the city, where's the rest of the financing coming?
So the daycare entered an agreement a couple of months ago with Doug Fullman at Town and Country. It's a model that a lot of daycares in the state are moving to, where money is put forward for the center, and a certain amount of slots are saved or put aside for the Town and Country's employees. And so that was 56,000 of that was put for that. And then we've applied for the Enhanced Hamilton County grant, which covers another 20 if we're approved for that. And then the county, city and the county would.
Do they have all the funds, Bar what we've?
Back when was it that the city gave the daycare $10,000 last February? Wow, it doesn't feel like that long ago. That money, was given to sort of cover any things that may be coming up, or, incidental things, and that money has not been used. And so I'm proposing that money be used towards that 28 mark. And so it would be closer to 18 that we're asking for. I mean, it's 30 either way from the city, but no matter how you slice it, but
So can we can set it up to change it. Come up with a different agreement, so we don't have, we'll give them the deed and we can legally step away from that. Obligations with that. So I think we should do that.
Maybe we could
So
just,
then-
we'll have to go out for like. Setting public hearing and all that stuff to transfer it, and then the idea would be is we would sell it to them at a fair market value, which we're assuming is pretty close to what's left to owe on it.
Yeah.
Give them the deed, and in exchange, they'll sign a mortgage back to the city, so the city has collateral in it. So, kind of no different than review.
Is there any anticipation to that changing the rate that they're currently paying?
On the interest rate?
No, the monthly payment that they're,
No, they made a catch-up payment here this past month or last month, where it came. About 10,000, and they've indicated that they're gonna be making payments of $2,000 a month, if I'm not mistaken, from here on out. They've restructured and they have a separate CPA on boards, as well as some of the financial resources they've gotten over the past 12 months with the state and others. That's helped them restructure and balance stuff.
and it's our plan, and of course, all good plans fall apart, but if we're paying $2,000 on it, it'd be paid off in May of 2029. But that we have we would actually like to, we have to set up where we would have two $50,000 lump sums, and it would be paid off by May 2025. So of course, something could occur, but that's sort of where we're looking at financially right now.
so best case scenario looks like a little over 500 grand a year in additional revenue opportunity by the additional slots.
Yeah. The slots, the extra would pay essentially for the project and all the staff that need to be hired for that. The additional revenue.
You mentioned similar to the Riverview's loan.
Riverview owns the property, the city has a loan with them.
Right, yeah, but no mortgage.
Correct. No,
It's the
yeah,
deed
I'm
you
just-
bought from the schools, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it just puts Riverview in a whole different ballgame, because they can go out and bid and not have to deal with city procurement.
And just to make council aware too, like some stuff going on in Riverview, we've been meeting with a consulting group called First Children's Finance. And it's kind of gone public, sort of. It's kind of a soft public, but we're looking to possibly build. No, I mean, no, I just don't mean know like kind of what stage we're at, but I'm just saying like. We're to the point where business plans align with our goal and what we want to do, and there'll probably be a request coming soon to the city as well, but I'm not really sure that it is. I know you're meeting with some members of the board, Daniel. Coming up, so it's kind of where we're at on that too, but I'm pumped if you guys can add more spaces. Like your center, especially, I mean, for the dollar amount. It's awesome.
Great.
I think regardless,
Great idea.
But the
Regardless of
one question on the projected cost is, if the salaries are included in the projected cost, wouldn't that be covered by the ratepayer or by the tuition of the seats being filled?
That's what the projected revenue is by the,
Yeah,
is that what you're asking?
no, so you said the projected cost, like hiring 3 new teachers, but wouldn't those teachers be rolled into the added?
That's what, right, that's what, right, what we're saying is it'll bring in 46,000 revenue that will cover the teachers and staff required, plus that construction.
so a couple things, even if the council decides not to financially contribute to the project, and if the county still moves forward and contributes to it, it's still public dollars that trigger the public procurement process. It's still a government building, so that's where the question or the need for the deed becomes a critical play. The other part of it too, in terms of process, if you wanted to modify the loan, as Zach mentioned, we would have to set a public hearing, so the public hearing would get set at the next meeting. Council probably wouldn't take action until the first meeting in February on the new loan agreement. And then thereafter, depending on whether if you decide to financially support Webster City Daycare's project, and agreements for that financial support would have to be executed and approved by the council in February as well, but that will likely be the second meeting in February to kind of give you a time frame.
And it might be the transfer that probably would push back slightly only because we probably have to get the property appraised and all that stuff to determine the fair market value, and that could take a month to get, so.
And this is just a curiosity question, because Riverview is kind of flirted with the idea of an investor, say be like, custom meets or something, and then they get allocated so many spots, kind of like what you said about Town and Country.
That's what we do with Town and Country.
So like, how's that work? Like again, we haven't looked into it because we kind of didn't really know if we wanted to go down that path or not, but how's that work? Like, is it just like X amount of spots and they do X amount of investment into the project, and those spots take precedent over like new people or the waiting list, or do they roll like through age groups as the children of the employees age up?
They take precedent over the wait list. But I know that the amount that they give us doesn't, like right now, they have no one that needs the spots. And so, let's say tomorrow they had an employee come in and need the spot, they wouldn't be able to get in until there was a spot open. You know what I mean? Like you wouldn't bump somebody else out. And so at some point in time, ideally, you'd sort of fix that when you added 72 spots. Those spots would always be saved or open for those.
Cool.
And I think if I remember correctly, it was they were paying the 56,000 that they gave was to be able to create a teacher basically for 20 new slots, and 15 were going to Town and Country, and 5 were just slots opened for additional openings. The problem is there's just not room. There's not the room. Oh,
So we just getting a consensus to whether we want to change the deed, and then the other, whether we want to give them the money or not.
Well, I'm supportive of changing the structure of the loan to give more flexibility in borrowing money and proceeding forward with projects like this. I think it's a creative way that they're working with Town and Country, and I think if you can do that and acquire the money to be able to expand, to give more capacity, which increases revenue, it's a win-win. And I'm not opposed to considering the additional 18,000 and to help them meet that goal.
Consensus is to move forward with the paperwork and the
Modifying the
restructuring of
Direct
the-
staff and develop it, work together.
thanks, guys.
Well, let's pick up.
When they start, can we put in the order for the appraisal now?
Yep.
That way it's.
Yeah, so we'll need that first before we can set the public hearing, so.
We need authorization to do.
No, since that won't be, it's way under number wise.
So
Call for motion.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favour say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Thanks, everybody.
That comes out by the time I got back. It's still.
Thanks for that one.
Keep thinking the newspaper still. It's just-
We did the night first, and thank you for following through. So the quick one tonight, I know my that first one for the year, so you might do it on that point.
See if everybody,
Next one will be exciting. You've got your hours in there, so you should be fine.